I came late to the drone party. It was 2017, and I was looking for something new. I thought, hey, I fly radio-controlled airplanes, I like photography, why do I not have a drone? So I bought a MAVIC Pro. Then, having a background in RC models, I had to unlearn a lot of flying stuff. Drones fly all weird. Then there was the next step, getting my Part 107 certificate. I signed up to take the tests and took it without studying one bit, and then I passed. So despite my best efforts, I became a certified drone operator. I wouldn't say this is the way to do it. If I were to do it again, I would have done some studying. I'm already off track. Now, I'm far from being one to have to tell everyone about a product. But lately, while eyeing up a particular drone, I've been watching all sorts of review videos. I got to thinking, I've never made a review video. Likely because I've never wanted to review anything. The MAVIC AIR2 has been out for about a month and a half. In that time, I've made just over 100 flights with it, totaling about 9.5 hours. Here's what I've found. This is my review of the MAVIC AIR2. Well, not really a review, more like just my thoughts on a new drone, but nothing earth-shattering video. Physically, compared to the MAVIC Pro, it's smaller. Not much, but it is. The motors are smaller, the batteries are smaller, but more blocky, which doesn't make them convenient to put in pockets or anything. The camera also has an updated look. Instead of the circular design of the Pro and the Pro Zoom, it has more of a squared-off look of the Pro 2. It does have a 1/2-inch sensor, which is a little larger than the Pro, but also a 1/2 inch smaller than the Pro 2. But it's also about half the cost. It's a quad Bayer sensor, which means something, but I'm still a little blurry as to what. However, this allows for 48 megapixel photos, but I have to say, I don't think you're getting any more detail than the 12 megapixel photos. But if cropping is your thing, this is your boy. It does also take a little more time to process when shooting that large. The AIR2's 8K hyperlapse is simply 48 megapixel photos compiled, so the shortest interval between these shots is 6 seconds, which can end up as choppy looking video. This seems to be a big selling feature for them, but I haven't been overly impressed with the 8K hyperlapse. As for video, it's got your 4K at 24 frames per second, 30 frames per second, and get this, 60 frames per second, which leads me to another point. The AIR2 shoots in H.264 and also has H.265, which is great quality, but can be a little crushing on your machine. When you shoot at 60 frames a second, it automatically switches to H.265. So if you're not already, now's as good a time as any to start working with proxies. What I have found handy is HDR video capability. Apparently this quad Bayer thing allows for different exposures in different areas of the image, which is like, huh? But it's cool. But almost a little too much. At times I find the colors a little too vibrant, saturated, whatever, but that can be adjusted later. It's a good starting point. I should also mention that this camera has the ability to be dragged around on the screen by your finger. It can be swung as far as to see its own legs in the frame. Now I thought this would be a game changer, but I found that in use it's really not that big of a deal. I also found that when pointing the camera to the right and moving forward at high speed, I would get these weird waves through the video, and I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's something. It also has a pretty damn bright landing light. I've never used it on landing, but it has been handy in low light conditions to get a better visual on the drone. I do love the transmitter. Some seem to think it's a little bit too big, but they're being stupid. The battery level is displayed by 4 LEDs, and that's about all you need. Like the original MAVIC Air, Pro 2, and Mini, the sticks can be removed and stuck in the controller on the bottom. Everything is USB-C now, and that kicks ass, along with the switch on the face of the controller that allows you to switch between tripod, normal, and sport modes. Slick, not having to go into any other menus. It uses the new DJI Fly app, which I hated at first, but I've come to terms with it. It's kind of dumbed down. At the same time, part of the process of dumbing down is making things simpler, which in some cases has been nice. For some reason, they took away the ability to adjust the speed and smoothness of the gimbal, which boggles me, but it seems they do have it set pretty well. However, I don't know if it's really the machine, or I'm just better at it. And oh yeah, it has ADS-B, which actually tells you when aircraft are in the vicinity. It's cool, but honestly, by the time I get notified, I've usually already heard it or know about the traffic, but you can turn it off if you want. I guess my longest holding gripe about the Fly app is that you can't see the battery level. Whereas the DJI Go 4 app overloads you with information, the Fly app seems to simplify it, then makes it hard to read. Seriously, DJI, all you need is a slightly shaded background to which the battery info is overlaid. You know, just like you did with the Go 4 app, remember? But honestly, if that's my biggest gripe, I'm sitting pretty good. So that's my experience with the MAVIC Air 2 in a nutshell. There's still a lot more to it. I never got into the auto track modes because I hardly ever used them. I didn't get into the front and rear sensors because I generally turn mine off. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, I've never been big into 360 cam stuff, but I have to admit, DJI's photo stitching has come a long ways and I kinda like shooting 360 stills now. Of course, this is only in JPEG format and you have to download it to your phone to use it. Well, there might be something I don't know. There probably is. Anyway, I'm happy with it. And I will leave this not a review with the ultimate test of any drone. Really high, over an empty field, with dramatic piano music.